November 2022. The lights went out in the Bahamas. In a single cold night, the industry's greatest lie was exposed. FTX wasn't a financial revolution. It was a paper shredder disguised as a portal. Billions in digital wealth didn't just move, they evaporated. A database delete, a single silent keystroke. The trauma was tectonic. For years, the crypto masses had been told that centralized exchanges were the new banks. Safe, secure, regulated. It was a mirage. Overnight, the industry's foundational mantra was rewritten in the blood of liquidated portfolios. Not your keys, not your coins. The panic triggered a mass exodus. Investors stopped trusting the screens. They stopped trusting the middleman. They wanted a bunker. They wanted the cold, hard, physical reality of control. They wanted the digital fortress. Enter Ledger, the ultimate vault. There's a profound, almost primal psychological comfort in holding your net worth in the palm of your hand. A USB-shaped drive, brushed steel, a small glowing OLED screen. In a world of invisible data, the ledger offered something the exchanges couldn't. Wait. The marketing was a masterpiece of security theater. Sovereignty, self-custody, your own personal bank. It worked. As the world fled the wreckage of centralized finance, Ledger saw an unprecedented influx of capital. Consider the rise of Caspa, a high-speed decentralized network promising a new era of digital silver. As wealth within the Caspa ecosystem surged, its investors sought the ultimate protection. They rushed to Ledger. They locked their millions behind the proprietary chips of a French tech startup. They believed they were finally off the grid, unplugged from the matrix. They thought they had built a fortress where the walls were made of unbreakable mathematics. They felt sovereign, untouchable. They were wrong. The betrayal didn't come from a hacker in a basement. It didn't come from a government subpoena. It came from a firmware update, version 2.2.1. In May 2023, the illusion of the impenetrable vault shattered. Ledger announced a new service, Ledger Recover, a feature designed to help users retrieve their lost seed phrases by breaking them into 3 encrypted shards and sending them to third-party corporations for safekeeping. The technical community went silent. Then they screamed. For years, Ledger had insisted that your private keys, your 24-word seed phrase, could never, under any circumstances, leave the hardware device. It was the core of their value proposition. The secure element chip was supposed to be a one-way street. But the Recover update revealed a terrifying clinical reality. If a software update can extract your keys in shards, it means the back door was already there. The architect didn't just build the house. The architect kept a master key. The company's CEO was eventually forced to admit the truth on a social media live stream. Yes, technically, the firmware could be written to extract the seed phrase. In that moment, the digital fortress was revealed to be a hotel. You could lock the door from the inside, but the management always had the passkey. The hardware wasn't a bunker. It was a black box. This is the corporate autopsy of a movement. We claimed we wanted to kill the banks. We preached the gospel of decentralization. We celebrated the death of the middleman. But look at the anatomy of the betrayal. We didn't escape the banking system. We just traded centuries-old, heavily regulated, multi-trillion-dollar institutions for a French tech startup with a clever marketing department. The hardware is a black box. You cannot see the code inside the secure element. You cannot verify what it does. Ultimately, you're placing blind faith in a corporate entity. You're trusting that their code is honest. You're trusting that their board of directors won't pivot. You're trusting that they won't be coerced by a three-letter agency. True digital sovereignty is an illusion when someone else controls the firmware. If the code can see your keys, the company can see your keys. And if the company can see them, so can anyone who controls the company. We traded transparency for a false sense of physical security. We forgot that in the digital age, the most dangerous weapon isn't a crowbar. It's a signed line of code. You're not sovereign if your fortress has a back door, but hardware is just one cage. Next, we dissect the 21-mile physical choke point, currently holding the entire global matrix hostage. This is the blueprint. To decode the trap, subscribe.